Hi, so the presidential election is just 5 days away, and I want to update you on the Vegas odds here. So the Vegas odds right now is minus 300, meaning if you bet 300, you'll win $100, versus about a month and a half ago is minus 500, and also minus 425, meaning again, if you bet 500, you'll win $100. So the odds have definitely narrowed, but once again, let me talk about why Hillary is most likely going to win. Aside from the 270 electoral college votes that she likely already has, I want to go over the exit polls of the last election. So here I have the Romney-Obama election of 2012, and I want to go through the demographics here. So keep in mind, when Romney lost, he actually had a large portion of the white vote. So you'll see Romney had 59% of the white vote, and he only won 24 states. Whereas back in 1986, Ronald Reagan had only 52 or 54% of the white vote, and he won 44 states. So there is a huge demographic shift here. So even if Trump is able to get 59% of the votes, white vote, it's still a hurdle to overcome, because as you notice here, with Obama getting the Hispanic and Asian votes, so likely Hillary will get the female vote more so than Obama did, as well as the minority vote, and it's unlikely that Hillary will slip any more than Obama did with the white vote. So that's one of the main reasons why, comparing it to the 2012 demographics, it's unlikely that Trump will win. It's definitely a big hurdle, especially with the forecast already Hillary getting the 270 votes or nearing the 270 votes, especially with some of the swing states leaning her way. So you'll notice here also, if you go by the other demographics such as age and education, it is very likely that even more so than the 2012 election, that Hillary will actually get a lot more of the college and post-grad votes than even Romney and Obama did. So keep that in mind. As the stereotype goes, the post-grads are probably a lot more liberal than than they are conservative. So as well as some of the income. So just keep that in mind. And also, if you look at some of the liberal votes, this is unlikely to change. Conservatives are going to vote conservative, and liberals are going to vote liberal. Though I would say this, that is the other aspect of this, is that the conservatives for Trump may stay home because of just how vicious the primaries were, and also how a lot of conservatives actually do not lean towards Trump and may abstain from voting altogether. So keep that in mind, that in addition to all the other demographics, Trump might not even get all the conservative votes as much as Romney did, the 82%. You know, maybe Trump will get 65% or 70%, but 82% might be a bit high for Trump. And also you'll notice, even with the married, it's also more likely that Trump will not get as many of the marriage votes as Romney did. So keep that in mind as a comparison for the 2012. But going back to some of the Bovado Vegas odds here, you'll notice this is more extensive because we are coming close to the election here. So there's other things you could sort of gamble on. And these are gambles, because I would say these are pretty much toss-ups as far as the sort of popular vote here. Who's going to get them? What percentage of the popular vote is each candidate going to get? How many states will the Democratic Party win? And I'll say this is that it's around. So the cutoff is around 25 states. So if I scroll down to some of the polling and statistics so far, it's about 27 states for Hillary right now. And there are a bunch of the swing states here. So if you look at these over and unders for the Democratic Party and the Republican Party winning, and the over and under, it's about 25. So these are once again toss-ups, and the odds reflect that. So, and this is basically voter turnout, so you could bet on that also. Now some of the more other bets here is the popular vote, and some of the more boring and predictable ones are actually the state votes, whether each state is going to go. So they have all 50 states here and probably DC, whether each state is going to go for the Democrat or Republican. And you'll notice here that for Alabama, the Republicans are heavily favored, meaning that you have to bet $10,000 to win $100. So obviously, they definitely have that as a heavy favorite. So I'm going to scroll down here. You'll notice Alaska, Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, and I'm just going to scroll down all of these because I like to keep these as records in the future for future elections, so that people can go back and look at the Vegas odds of particular states. Though the states are actually, other than the swing states, they're pretty predictable. You know, you have your liberal states and you have your conservative states that don't basically won't switch much based on, you know, this forecast, the margin of victory being the center here, and deviating from the center is the variance. So let me go back here, Michigan, Minnesota, and want to speed this up a little bit. So I do have a big portion of my money, even though Hillary is a heavy favorite, on Hillary, just because I think there is a good 70-75% chance that she will be president, and I felt like that was a good gamble versus a sucker's bet. You know, obviously as you approach the election days, the gap actually closes. But I think the reality of it is that the Electoral College votes of 270 is something that's very obtainable for Hillary. And that's really it. That's really what I wanted to show. And you know, I hope this helps. And thank you for watching.